Hello everyone, welcome on to another video. It's your host the most, Michael Benitez, back again. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a really long time. It's just that I've been really busy with other stuff and all with this whole coronavirus and everything. I have been self-quarantining myself, and so I decided to make a couple videos. Now, I was thinking about how to do a video. I was originally going to do a ghost video, but I'm going to set that for probably the next video, maybe. Just stay tuned for that. But currently, I want to talk about something that has really gotten on my nerves. And that is the new changes to Thomas & Friends, or as it's now known, Thomas & Friends Big World, Big Adventures. So, let me give you a bit of backstory. When Thomas & Friends first started CGI, back in 2010 I think it was around that time, people didn't really like the CGI series because it was becoming a bit too unrealistic, and let's just all say that Sharon Miller was a terrible writer. She made some really bad stories, but hey, some of the characters were unique. But some characters were really bad, like Charlie. But Hero, he was a good character. Misty Island Rescue, even though it was a not very good movie to some people, I kind of liked it. Dave the Diesels, bleh. Some other some of the movies I'll do in later videos, but bad. Starting in like 2013, I think it was, we started to get like original characters returning, like Duck, Oliver, even Duncan got an appearance. Now, at this point, I was starting to believe that Thomas & Friends was starting to get back into the old Jima things, back to the old original series. But then, in 2016, we had a video on the Thomas & Friends YouTube channel announcing that Thomas & Friends would go on a big adventure. We don't know where it was at the time, but it'll be something spectacular. And of course, it was this. Big World, Big Adventures. And right off the bat, people started hating it because of how unrealistic it was and how bad it was. Now, I guess you're all probably wondering how I'm just going to scream about how terrible it was, how utterly disgusting it is, and how it's going to ruin Thomas & Friends. Now, wait. It is kind of bad, I'll give it that, but to me, the show's producers are doing it in the wrong way. Now let me give you a bit of what I mean. First off, I just want to say that everyone should have known that this was coming. Everyone should have known that this show was going to get a reboot. Even in that YouTube video where Thomas would announce that he would go on a big adventure. Heck, The Great Race and Journey Beyond Sodor had tied in to Thomas going around the world. They hinted that this would have happened, but no one ever listened to it. No one ever believed that this show would actually hint that it would go into a reboot. That Thomas & Friends would just go all around the world. Another thing. Yes, Thomas going around the world sounds a bit childish, but hear me out. Thomas & Friends is not just a British show. It's a all-around show. Everyone around the world has loved Thomas & Friends. Everyone around the world has had interesting characters. Okay, so back in 2017, Journey Beyond Sodor was released, and it showed a bit of bouncing, or how I like to call it, moving. The characters were supposed to move, but not on their own, like jump off the tracks, so to speak. But they were able to move like their chassis around and boilers and stuff like that. To me, in Journey Beyond Sodor, actually, I'm just gonna point this out. In entirely of the series, I completely ignored the moving and the bouncing that has happened in the show. I completely ignored that, and that's what everyone should do too. Just ignore that and just carry on with the show. And let's just move on to the other things that people are complaining about the show. Thomas being the main character now. Well, he is the name of the show, of course, but I think the producers are doing it in the wrong way. They're doing it in a way where like they're just shoehorning Thomas into every single episode, and now he's a narrator. And basically, they just fixed that problem. Because if you think about it, having Thomas as the main character, Thomas is the narrator now. How about not have him as an episode entirely, and just have him as the narrator? That just fixed your problem. And other things. And this thing was a bit of a bothersome. Having Edward and Henry cut from the Steam team. Well, I'll give you one thing. The Steam team was completely pointless to begin with. If you ask me, they should have done the first 11 engines of Sodor as a team. Maybe Emily will be somehow involved. I don't even know. But the Steam team was entirely pointless, entirely bogus. It was just a childish attempt to make everyone feel like, oh, it was this Steam team. The Steam team. Are you kidding me? The Steam team only cared about... Okay, the Steam team only cared about that group of engines. Oh, that group of engines. There are engines around the entirety of Sodor. You have characters like Molly, like Neville, like Murdoch, who hasn't appeared in God knows how long. You need to bring characters that do need more character development, like Molly per se. People do not like Molly, but personally, I love Molly because she was a very interesting character that I could relate with. I'll explain that in another video. But having Edward and Henry removed from the Steam team, well, that was basically making a already bad decision worse. The first bad decision was having the Steam team to begin with. The second bit was having Edward and Henry, two of the main characters of this show. The characters that brought the Railway series to life out of the series. Well, not entirely. But here's the thing I don't understand. Because, Edward and Henry have a good point to be in the series. They teach characters, and actually, in Henry's case, he's my personal favorite character. Henry shows that even though you're sick, you can prove yourself to be a really useful person, I would say, and do your hardest. And Edward, he's that wise guy, the one everyone loves, and he shows that even despite you are old, you still prove yourself to be really helpful. And then they just took him away from the show. Well, basically, I like the way of how they took away Edward from the Steam team by having him find a whole group of sheds to be in. I like that because it wasn't such fast approach like Henry's. I mean, it was just announced that Henry will be moving to Vickerstown, which makes kind of sense because he is a freight engine after all. But still, and I also think that Gordon's actual breakdown of how everything was going to be changing, it would have been really bad. It would have been like how everyone's thinking of it now. But now, let's talk about these two new female characters, who basically I think that should have been involved, but in a different way. Nia and Rebecca. Now, I'm just going to let you all know that in my series, The Source of the AWR, I will have another character called Nia, and then... yeah, but hey, Thomas and Friends has two Olivers, so I don't know how that will work out. But the thing about Nia and Rebecca. Nia is an interesting character. I'm gonna say. She's an interesting character because, well, even despite, people keep being kind of biased about that, she is a really cool character, and I can understand her being like Edward. She's the wise person. She's the wise engine that teaches everyone. Like Gordon of how changes were going to be happening in Sodor. And then, Rebecca. Okay, so Rebecca is kind of like Henry, if you think about it, because she's like that worrisome, shy character. That was what Henry was. Well, later seasons, actually. But, hey, but I liked Rebecca. Rebecca is a good character. Heck, she has a cool design, the Battle of Britain West Country class. Don't mistake me if I actually was mistaken her class or not. But she is a really cool character. Now, having old characters return, like Young Bao, Ashima. Now, I knew that after the Great Race, Young Bao and the other characters would return for some reason. Like, we went to India in one episode, and we saw characters like Nora Han, Rajiv, and Shankar. So not only we get original characters, we get new characters. We get new faces. We get new people, new engines to watch, new engines to love. But no, everyone is still caring about the little blue engine himself. Thomas is not one of my favorite characters because, well, in terms of opinion, I don't really like main characters of shows, but hey, that's my opinion only. But the fantasy sequences, they're okay, but only in certain episodes. In other episodes, they're just shoehorned in. To me, I think they should stop putting these sequences into every single episode of the gosh darn seasons. But hey, that's my opinion. Now, I guess you're wondering why I'm saying this, that they did it in the wrong way. Well, here's how I think they should have put it. First off, having Edward and Henry lead the Steam team. To me, I think they should have done a story that would have been similar to Calling All Engines, by having the sheds being revamped and having room for Nia, and Rebecca, and still having Edward and Henry in the show. You can't just like remove like 2 characters and play with female characters. How about add them for part of the Steam team? We have Toby, who has not appeared in God knows how long in an episode as a main character, but he was still like involved somehow in the recent seasons, like before Big World Big Adventures. But some things are never gonna come out the way we thought it would be. And the seasons where we have Thomas going around the world for one part and the other part on Sodor, it's good, but it should be a bit different. Like, have Thomas appear around the world, and then on the parts of Sodor, not have him being involved in all, and just have him, like, just like, have the engines, like, working in Thomas's absence. And then we get to season 24, the latest season in the show. That'll be coming out in May, I think it is, of this year. Now, everyone is starting to question the show, but I'm gonna give it a chance, and that's what everyone should do. Stop bias the show. Give it a chance. Wait until season 24 is over, then you can give your opinions. Season 23 was actually good, as a matter of fact. Steam Team to the Rescue. I actually liked that special because it had a really good song. But season 24. All we know is that we're getting a character called Kenji. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's like a bullet train of some sort. A bullet train! A bullet train of all characters! That's an interesting character. That's an interesting engine. Have a bullet train in Thomas and Friends. That's a very good character. Okay, moving on. Some other characters. Sonny. Okay, Sonny we don't know what he is, actually, but he could be an engine, because we get an episode called Sonny's Second Chance, so it may be that Sonny's like a failed experimental engine. Like, we have an episode called Big Marvelous, I forgot what else it's called, but something like that, and then we can just assume that Sonny is like a failed experimental engine, but he wants to prove himself as a second chance. And then we get episodes like Thomas and the Forest Engines. Hey, we're reaching the 75th anniversary of the show of the entire franchise. Do I smell a Wilbert in appearance, anyone? And then we have Thomas and we get an episode where Thomas is going to London. The Royal Engine. Now, here's the thing. People are hating this because it's not Duchess of Hamilton, the famous Coronation Scott LMS locomotive that's in it. It's just a character called Duchess. Now, I think I'm really disappointed about how everyone is thinking about Duchess at this point. Yes, she is not Duchess of Hamilton, but hey, she's her counterpart. Give her a chance! And who cares about how messed up Duchess looks like? Okay, Duchess is basically a Coronation Scott clash with Royal Scott, the smoke deflectors, and an Oniar tender. People keep saying that that's a mess, and a white, and she's painted in white, which everyone keeps saying is a white mess. Actually, it's cream, everyone. Don't her color is cream, everyone. But give Duchess a chance. She looks cool. Do you know what character who also messed up in design? Henry or Gordon. But no one cares about them. Oh no, they only care about this new female character that no one actually cares about because she's too terrible. She's the Royal Engine, for God's sake. The franchise, the fan community. Don't hate me. I love the Thomas and Friends community, but they're really taking the show now completely wrong way. The show should be given a chance. Give it until like season 25, season 26, and then we can figure out what's going on. So all in all, Thomas and Big World Big Adventures was going to be started to begin with. They did it in a way that I think that would have been done better, but hey, that's my opinion. And I'm glad that we're going to get characters like we're going to get new characters like Sonny, Kenji, Cleo the Road Engine. That's a cool character I really want to see. But people are just now so dumb about how they portrayed some of these. Like, okay, don't hate me, but Duchess needs to give a chance. Give all the characters a chance. Give the characters a chance. So, all in all, I'm just saying, give Big World Big Adventures a chance, and that they should have done it in a proper way. So, that's my video for now, and, if you want to, give me your thoughts on how you like Big World and Big Adventures, but in my opinion, it's okay. It's okay. I'll give it, out of a 10 scale, You know what? 5. It's good. It's 50% good, 50% bad. That's what I'm gonna give it. That's what I'm gonna give it only. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me your thoughts, and I see you on the next video. It'll probably be a ghost video. I don't really know, but let's just see what happens. So this is Mike Video signing out on a Thomas and Friends video, and I really guys hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. It helps me out on the channel. Please like this video and give me more video suggestions if you want to. See you on the next video. See you later.